I spent 36 years in the Indian Foreign Service, more by accident than by design. Most of my postings have been along the periphery of the Indian Ocean. I was sent to Hong Kong to study Chinese language. I worked in mainland China, worked in Taiwan. I was in Thailand replacing Ambassador Sajanar a long while ago. I've also had the opportunity to work as High Commissioner in Mauritius and Ambassador in UAE. Also in South Africa, opening our offices in Johannesburg and Cape Town. So apart from a stint in distant Switzerland at the Conference on Disarmament, I am a person of the Indian Ocean. So much has been said about the importance and what we are doing and what we need to do. But I think what underlies all this in terms of our plans for the future would be to have good diplomacy so that we have friendly relations with countries in the Indian Ocean area. Let me give one example. I was in Cambodia. Oh, they love India. The ship Kaundinya that you are using as a symbol for this event, they consider themselves to be the children of Kaundinya or Kambu who came from Kanjipuram. Kambuchia is a combination of Kambu and Ja, Kambuja, children of Kambu, children of Kaundinya. I was there at a time when India was a great friend of Cambodia, at the time of the UN conducted elections and so on. But what is our status of our relations today with Cambodia? They are in the Chinese sphere of influence. Is it something we did wrong or they did wrong? I do not know. What is our relationship with other countries in the region? We were in Thailand and I brought a delegation of business people from Phuket to Port Blair. We flew in a Thai military aircraft. There were a lot of investors. We had a very good meeting in the morning where the Lieutenant Governor talked about what a great opportunity for cooperation and development. What they wanted was one of the islands, maybe one of the uninhabited islands, to be opened up for investment from Thailand. They will build the airstrip. They will bring in facilities for producing drinking water, desalination plants, and develop tourism. By evening, I was asked to meet the Lieutenant Governor at his residence. And he said, "This will not work. I am told by the local people here in Andamans that Thailand tourism is all about massage parlors. And we don't want that here." I said, "Sir, there are several models for tourism. Look at Maldives. Look at Bhutan. You can pick and choose the kind of tourism you want. You don't have to accept everything that a foreign investor wants to come to you with." But no, the rigidity had set in. Local business interests did not want competition, and that was the end of that. That brings me to an earlier time when I was in Hong Kong in 1982, when talk about Hong Kong reverting to China 15 years later had just begun. There was great fear, panic. Capitalist Hong Kong will be absorbed by communist China. Many Indian businessmen apparently approached the government of India and said, "Will you let us build a new Hong Kong in Andaman Islands? Just give us the place, we will bring in the investment, we will develop it." 1982. Of course, for good reasons, we said no. There is Always, of course, the environmental lobby, cultural issues, sociological matters, and so on. But if you want to retain Andaman and Nicobar as Indian territory, if you want to retain Lakshadweep as Indian territory into the future, you better develop these places. Otherwise, you may find, like the Japanese occupied Andaman Islands briefly, like others would like to establish facilities in these remote islands, you may lose them. The solution, I say, is diplomacy and friendship and programs which are cooperative, not threatening, not militarily aggressive. I will give you an example from what we did in a country where I was High Commissioner, that is Mauritius. I'm surprised that nobody mentioned Agalega. Nobody even mentioned Chabahar Port. These are two examples of projects we are doing in a mutually beneficial cooperative manner in the region without being aggressive. In fact, we don't often speak about Agalega at all. I was surprised to find that last year the Foreign Secretary of India actually spoke about it on the eve of the Prime Minister's visit to Mauritius. He said how 10 years ago in 2015, an MOU was signed during Prime Minister's visit there to develop certain air and sea connectivity with Agalega. Please remember that Agalega is an island with a population of 300 people only. But in the 10 years, the Foreign Secretary said we have built our facilities. What is the facility we have built? A 3-kilometer long runway, which is almost the same size of the runway of Trivandrum Airport, for an island with 300 people. But he said this is something we have done so that these facilities can assist Mauritius in its maritime surveillance. Please note, assist Mauritius in its maritime surveillance and patrolling of its vast exclusive economic zone. Not about India's surveillance. This is diplomacy. We are helping Mauritius doing something. We are helping Iran doing something. There are many things that we can do, but for that we need friendly countries. If you have hostile relations with Sri Lanka and Maldives, then you have difficulty doing cooperative projects with them. So I think if we are talking about the future of our maritime domain, we need not just neighbor-first policy, but maritime neighbors-first policy. Thank you.